Coming up in today's video, guys, we've got some stubborn, dry earwax plugs. We've got two patients in this compilation video. My name is Rhys Barber. I'm one of the audiologists here at Audiology Associates.
And my name is Taylor Green, and this is starting with Rhys's patient.
This is mine. So, oh God.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say there's we've got a bilateral removal, which is both ears for Rhys. Then we've got a single-sided wax removal for mine then.
Make sure you stay tuned with Taylor Green's as well.
It's a super narrow one.
Yeah, yours is, I mean, mine, in fairness, mine was really dry and stubborn. Makes it harder because you can't get a good grip on here. So I'm using one of the curettage tools. Curettage, if you're new to these types of videos, curettage means that you're using a manual tool. This is something called a Jobson horn. It's like a little ring, little sort of oval ring. We tend to use oval Jobson horns rather than a round. And we're trying to get behind this wax plug and bring it forward. But every time I try and get past it, it's just pushing our wax plug further in. So what we've done is just filled this canal with olive oil just to help us get a better grip with the suction and to lubricate the canal wall as well. So that when we get this wax plug moving, it's gonna keep moving. So we're getting this out. But I'm quite lucky in my patient because I've got quite an open canal. You've got a much more narrow canal later on you to do. So, so make sure you stay tuned for that one as well. But we've got a hold of this plug. It's on its way out, but it gets a little bit stuck at this point just because it's stuck just at the entrance to the canal. So I've got to give it a little bit more of a wiggle to kind of lift it up from the back end. There we go, out that comes.
You can just tell sometimes just by looking at the wax how dry it is. It's got sometimes you can almost kind of see it like crystallizing, like you see these little, like as if you're looking at like diamonds, like, you know.
It's almost like a diamond encrusted kind of seam in there. And it gets really shiny and speckly, doesn't it? Very sparkly wax.
Oh yeah,
very sparkly. So for this one, I didn't even. We just put the olive oil in straight away, just because it did make a difference on the last ear canal. But you can see it's a little bit of a different. The first ear canal, the first wax that one, it was so solid and hard. But this one, I was almost got that slightly clay, crumbly texture to it. Imagine like a stock cube, like an OXO cube, that kind of consistency to it this time. But we're just lifting this up from the bottom because that worked last time for the other ear canal. But you can see it's that brittle, it just shears off. Yeah. There we go. Lovely smooth underbelly where it's been sitting on that canal wall. So now we've got to move this plug, but you can see there is just no gap at all around this. So we could wiggle our socks off on this one and that's just not going to budge anywhere. You can see I'm trying here just to try and get any movement to this. And it's such a difficult one to do. And because there's no gap, a lot of the curettage tools are not going to work very well here, are they? Because you try and push it in, but I'm going to try and go over the top. But I just can't get through. So I'm going to try and take off some of the front section here.
Yeah, you just risk pushing that in a little bit further then.
Exactly.
Which is, not ideal.
No, it's not perfect. But what I'm trying to do here is create the gap. So I'm just trying to take a channel down through the middle of the wax. So you've got these two side pieces now with this centralized dip, so we can kind of start pulling the side sections in to that center to try and bring this out. There you go, I've got another little dry bit here. I'm just nipping this off with the same, with the Jobson horn again. There it comes. You can see the skin underneath that. There's a lot of skin under that plug there. So this is just really dried onto that canal.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of different colors when this starts coming out. But yeah, the oil does really make a big difference. I know we keep, banging on about it all the time about using oil if you're able to, because there are patients that physically cannot use anything in the ear.
I had a chap earlier on with a perforation, which is a good example of that.
And it does really make a big difference when it comes to taking wax out of the ears. It's the big thing with a lot of patients is the hearing. Now, even though it's really blocked up anyway, as soon as somebody pops olive oil in, it just blocks it up even worse, and it just makes, sometimes some people find it really uncomfortable as well, and the wax starts to like swell with the as it's absorbing the oil.
I tend to say to patients, if we advise somebody to use olive oil, we normally say to them, look, expect it to get worse before it gets better, because the wax is going to absorb that oil, it's going to expand, it's going to close off any gaps, but then it will start to loosen and break down, and that's when you start to see the improvement. So if you do start using olive oil, don't panic if it does get worse for a couple of days. It will improve after that. This is starting to come forwards now. I can just see this sort of softer ring where the oil has managed to work its way down the sides of this plug. So I've just got this grip at the top here, and I've managed to bring it down the canal, almost to the entrance here. We're nearly at the entrance. So I'm just going to see if I can nip over the top now with the Jobson.
Go on.
It might go, it might. It's not quite. It's just now we've got this ridge and it's just pushing it further back. So we're just going to go in now. What have we got here?
That looks like the...
Oh, it's the
pick?
Yes, sorry. Yes, it is. We've got this little sort of pick. Actually, this is one of Neil's tools that we were just giving a quick go at there. I think they're one of the Rhys tools that we asked him, could he send us a couple of samples so we could have a little look at it. In fairness, it was a sort of a desperation to try and get in on this one. I don't think any tool would have worked very well in that environment just because it was so wedged against the canal wall. I was hoping by just getting a little bit of a pick, we might have just got over the top, but it was just, even the pick was just a bit too thick and it started just to push it back a little bit further. We will try and get some videos using those tools as well. Thank you very much for Neil sending those through for us to have a little look at. But we will when we get a good a good patient where we think it would work really well. We'll have a good old look at those. But this is starting to move now. Let's give this a little bit of a wiggle. There we go. We've got it. Sometimes we just needed to move it in position just to get that spin on the wax, and that'll just give you this little bit of a lift.
Yeah, you can see that's all those lighter colours that we mentioned earlier. That's all the dead skin.
You got it.
That's been holding this in place.
Yeah, when you lift this now, look at that. All has different shades.
Greys, we got whites, we got yellows, we got
everything going on in there. We've got this last little really dry, it's like a plank of wax in here. It's a really dry layer sitting on the base of the canal. You can see how deep that was going. So it was resting just on the ridge of the recess there as well. But that's come away really nicely. There we go. Out that comes.
Good job.
Yeah, thank you very much. So you can see now, if I just trying to remove this last bit, this is a little bit of dry skin that's on the canal here. And it's not peeling away very well, and that was what was anchoring that plug in place. So you can see why it just wasn't really budging, because that was securely attached to the canal wall.
There we go. Looking good afterwards.
Nice. So there we are, guys. Don't forget, guys, if you do enjoy the videos, you can always like, heart, share, follow, and subscribe for me. And if you have ear problems yourself, make sure you check out the link tree in the description. Book yourself an appointment with myself or the lovely Miss Taylor Green.
3 centimetres.
Inch and a quarter. This is yours.
This is mine now, yeah. So you can see the difference in the width of the ear canal already.
Yeah.
We do start with the standard size Zollner tube. Now, the standard size Zollner tube, I think, is only what, like 2 millimeters?
Yeah, I think it's like just under 2 mil. I think.
Just under 2 mil, and you can see we've already almost completely filled the entire ear canal. So we got quite a narrow one here, but quite surprising how easy this came out, because you can see how dry this is. Now, a lot of the time, like Rhys's patient just now, a lot of the time these dry ones can be really stuck and firmly attached to the ear canal, but we're working really nicely here. It's coming away quite simply. We got this is the fine end here now, so you can kind of see the difference in the size of this tube. So this is the smaller of the suction tubes that we use. Just taking away this sort of layer of dry skin here, just so we can get to that deeper plug a bit easier. And we're just going to lift this bit here now. So you can see there's a lot of movement already, which is a good sign. And I luckily have managed to get a really good grip. This is actually one of our existing hearing aid wearers who tends to come in to have their earwax removed, I want to say once a year. So we normally do it as part of the yearly sort of annual review. If we can see there's a lot of wax there, we'll obviously take this out before we do any testing.
Yeah, it's really important that you do that as well. You know, we have loads of patients come through that have been to high street branches of places and bad tests done with wax in their ears, and it's just false test results. It just doesn't work. And
there we are. It's looking a lot better. Patient hearing better. It's a small, I say a small amount of wax. It's what, 2.5 centimeters there.
3/4 of an inch.
And you could see it wasn't one big block, so there was all like kind of scattered. So, you know, even that itself was affecting the patient's hearing aid. As soon as that's come away, patient popped the hearing aid back in and just instant results. Hearing much better through the hearing aid. So
it's good.
Great.
Well done. Guys, thank you so much for watching our video again today. Myself and the lovely Mr. Taylor Green will be back for the next video as well. But as always, guys, take care of yourselves.
Take care of your ears.
And take care of one another. Don't forget to smash that like button. And if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. Bye, everyone.
Bye.